now, the future of the DC Film Fest is at stake. The festival supports filmmakers from all over the district, but after 28 years, it is having trouble collecting the money it needs to continue next year. Reporter Kelly Chase has more.
DC Film Fest is in jeopardy of not living to see its 28th year. A lack of funding might lead to the closing of this local cultural tradition. The festival began in the 1980s as a project of director Tony Gittins and his friends.
Many years ago, I used to do small film programs around the city, and some friends and I got together and decided that we would try to put on a film festival, and we did that. And then it was successful. We attracted about 5,000 people then. Now we attract about 23,000.
This year's festival included over 80 features and documentaries and took place in 9 locations. The festival spreads out across the city to try to reach a maximum number of areas. An example of one feature this year is Detroit Unleaded, an Arab-American romantic comedy that mixes Arabic and English.
I took inspiration from many different things. Some of it was completely made up. Some of it was, I would hear a line in a gas station, and it would inspire this entire scene.
This week there was an announcement about a lack of funding.
We learned that the University of the District of Columbia, which has been our base and our friend for many, many years, that they were also facing financial challenges and that they had to do a reduction in force. And in doing that, it meant that the funding that we were getting, they had to curtail. And then we applied for a grant to the DC Commission on the Arts, and we'd expected one level of funding, and we got substantially less than we had hoped for.
FilmFest DC has entrance fees for filmmakers of $15 to $30 and also charges up to $20 for some movie tickets. The festival is about $200,000 short of their operating budget. For independent filmmakers, this means their work might not get seen by people in the district.
It costs a lot for us to put on this event. Culture costs money, and in this country, that's not often appreciated. You go to some place like France, and they understand that culture costs money. There's no way that we can pay all the expenses around the film festival without help. We cannot do it ourselves, and these expenses continue to go up.
Gittins said cuts have already been made to bring down the costs of the festival. A final announcement can be expected in the fall. For District Wire News, I'm Kelly Chase.
Thanks, Kelly. Now we go to the future of filmmaking. With HD camera equipment available at a low cost and the age of the viral video, the line between professional filmmaker and amateur is blurring. Joining us now to talk about this issue is a guest with experience as a producer and as a lawyer protecting the arts. Brian Frankel currently has 4 different film projects in the works. He also runs a local networking group, DC Filmmakers. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if you could talk a little about one of the films that you're producing.
So I'm working with a director named Kareem Mawat, and he has a film called A Body in the Woods. And in our group, DC Filmmakers, we set it up like a studio system where people will pitch their ideas, and the group will decide what gets produced, and then I'll take on the mantle and make sure it happens. And so this is a clip from A Body in the Woods. It's a short suspense.
Hey, can't wait to see it. And what sort of environment around DC helped you create this film? Was it all local filmmakers?
So the people involved in this film are all local filmmakers. I moved here in 2007, and I was waiting for something to bubble up organically that I could jump in with, and I didn't find necessarily that. And so a little while back, I took the leadership of DC Filmmakers, and I just said, okay, we're going to create this local community, and we're just going to start making projects. And at my first meeting, I had like one other person show up, and then slowly it's been building and building, and now we have full capacity meetings. We have 500 members, and in this past month, we've had 4 films that have been shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
I want to ask Brian about the future of film aspect. Do you see, I want to get your take on torrenting and these online videos and this mass downloading of getting all this media for free. Can you just talk about that and what it means for your business?
So there's 2 different levels. There's the filmmaker who wants to build a name and doesn't necessarily care about monetization yet. So BitTorrent is wonderful because it's extra distribution. So is YouTube. Where it gets complicated is once somebody has a name and they want to have a career and they want to be able to pay a mortgage and do all these things, then they want to monetize it. And so it's harder to monetize when stuff is out there for free and you can't control who sees it and when they see it. And so the entire paradigm is in shift and it's flattening out. So when you have YouTube there now, revenue is starting to come into it.
Right.
Revenue from ads, but it's a whole different system. Whereas before, someone would pay $10 and they'd sit and they'd watch a film, and a filmmaker would get paid for that, or they'd watch a TV commercial while something was broadcast. Now it's a whole new thing, and everything is in flux, and so monetization it's changing, and we'll see in 5 years and 10 years how the new strategy monetization evolves. Right now, we're still kind of stuck with some legacy systems.
So what is your group, the DC Filmmakers, doing, I guess, to kind of go against that, to make sure that there's still money coming in and that talent is still able to find work in the city?
So we are more of an incubator. We don't care about monetization.
Okay.
I work as an attorney, and that's my focus, so that's how I pay my bills.
Right.
And so this group it's not set up as a nonprofit, but it is a nonprofit. We care about finding people, hearing what do you want to do, what story do you want to tell, and what skills do you want to learn. And that's why people come to us. And then we have people with more experience who help mentor younger people, and we have younger people who invest their time and energy and their passion so that they can produce projects.
Great, and I think actually we have the clip now of your film, and I'd love to see it.
Sounds great.
Let's see that.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can we get a release date on it before we
Right.
go?
So
Real quick.
every director is an auteur, and Kareem has final cut on this, so
Okay.
I'll have to defer to the creative vision of my director.
For a later date. All right.
All right. That's all right. We can handle that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much, Ryan, for coming. And
We're gonna move on now to our next segment. Looking ahead, if you're looking to get outside this summer, consider heading down to Rock Creek Park. Coming up, we've got our parks correspondent speaking with a ranger who gives us the down and dirty on the latest things to do in the Rock Creek Park.